because the Commie mommies had my video taken down. So, how do I do this? It's been a long time since I've done this. And the whole page was different the last time I've done it, so great. Let's try this way. See what it says on here. See if I've got anything going live right now. Yes, it says I am live right now, so maybe I can do. I can click on it and see if I can't separate. Nope, I can't do it that way. Hold on, I gotta make this bigger for a second and then figure out what the hell I'm doing, because I'm kind of an idiot. I'm a major idiot, actually. I totally forgot how to do all this shit, probably, but I just kind of learned by doing. Let's do it this way. Okay. Are y'all in here? Is it working? Okay. Alright, hang on a second. How did I used to get this out of this? Okay, I used to do something up here. I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember how to do this. Manage. Pop out chat. There we go. Alright, so now that you guys are in here, can you hear me? Everything cool? Are we good? We're going to go back over this video because the Commie mommies reported my video and had it taken down. I tried to fight it, and they told me to kick rocks. It violated community guidelines. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we're going to watch the video again just because. It's bullshit, man.
It is.
Well, now I can't see what y'all are saying and shit.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah, if you're pre-registered.
All right, hang on a second. Let me find. I gotta remember how to do this. Now this is on. I screen recorded this, so this is the only copy of it that I have now. So give me just 1 second. Please bear with me. I gotta figure out what the hell I'm doing again. I thought for sure I could go here. Yeah. See, there it is. Okay. All right. Here we go.
And he would just check your name if you didn't pre-register. You signed up.
Can y'all hear it okay and everything?
Nobody will ever email me back. I've been emailing for almost a year now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
We are trying to figure out our whole like IT system. It's
Well,
kind of
all right. Well,
bits and
I
pieces.
was invited to attend it.
Can you guys hear it okay and everything?
I had questions that nobody
Cool.
could answer. A couple of ladies were actually really rude.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
This video is only about 20 minutes long. We'll probably talk to it as we go through it too. I'm gonna try to do this pretty quickly. But it's complete bullshit. There's nothing in here that violates community guidelines. It was on public property. It was at a public event. They chose to keep talking after they had, she said, they're probably filming. Well, yeah, duh. What? Turn what up? Hold on, the wife's hollering at me from another room. I'm hard to hear. How's that? Is that better? Hold on, I'll try to turn this up too, if I can figure out how to do it. Because I'm not the brightest. Give me a second. Desktop audio. Turn that up. That should be everything. Cool. Hold on, I'm going to see what's going on.
Call me back or something.
Let me make sure I can get your handwriting. So
Sorry,
we
I
get
was
done.
tonight too.
Yeah, because I gotta put it on making sure. He's signing it, but I'm making sure it's legible enough so we get it into the system.
I can't tell you how many times I've asked somebody, can you
I was just watching one time. Before I came here, he was in a all federal employees.
Oh yeah, I got the dates from Nashville. Yeah, they can never see it.
Oh, okay.
But I do have them. I'm gonna read that just real quick, just make sure I can
All right, that's fine.
double check.
So how'd you find out about us?
Well,
So he's been on a
I
call
was in
before, he
I was in a
saying-
Zoom meeting before with y'all, and then nobody ever contacted me again like a year ago.
Is this was? Did you lose your son?
Yeah.
Well, it just got signed today.
I remember that call.
I'm sorry, that's as loud as I can remember. I can get it to turn up, guys. I just tried to turn it up, and for some reason, it's low. The volume was pretty low anyway. I just turned it up as loud as it will absolutely go. If you hear that young girl, she just said, "I remember that call." That girl wasn't in that Zoom meeting, so I don't know how she remembers it. She's just full of shit or whatever, but it is what it is. Anyway, they're all fucking liars. I can't stand these bitches.
Putting it out there on the old internet. Isn't that the one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we want to educate people, right?
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, I mean, I would assume if we had your email the first time, it would have stayed in there. But I know we've had some issues kind of losing people before.
No, it was just that I had questions that people don't want to answer. You know what I mean? Like I have tough questions, and I'm just like, for example, Mom's Demand Action pushes for these gun regulations, right?
I'm checking yes.
Those gun regulations is directly responsible for my son's.
All right, Chris just said he checked yes for me. There was a comment box on there. It said, "Are you a victim of gun violence?" And I just left it empty. It didn't give you an option to check no. It just said yes. So Chris checked it for me, I guess because he, the thinking is I'm a victim of gun violence because my son died. No, my son was a victim of violence. I just happened to be his dad. It has nothing to do with guns, though.
Yeah, 100%.
Got to push the propaganda, though. It's about the propaganda. Look at those big ass fucking Flintstone toes he's got.
Had his firearm on him, he would be alive today.
Oh, and by the way, Chris was armed this whole time. He had a gun on him, and nobody got shot.
And his friend.
I want to make it so the person who hurt him didn't have a gun. Well, I would love to. I mean, technically it is. Technically it's illegal.
Well, right. Well, if you ban guns, it's like heroin. Heroin was banned since the teens, right? People died this year from opioid justice and the court history before the gun thing.
Yeah, but I don't think the solution to that is to legalize heroin.
Well, I don't think it is either.
So what she's trying to, I said something about heroin being banned. My point was that banning shit doesn't work, right? Like there was 40,000 opiate deaths last year. She's like, well, I don't think the solution to that is making heroin legal. Well, it kind of is the solution to the problem, not the problem of overdoses, but when it comes to violence related to illegal or illicit substances that shouldn't be illegal, yes, it should be made legal. But she's trying to compare the two when you're talking about direct deaths, and that wasn't what I was talking about. If I shoot heroin and I kill myself, that has no effect on you. That's my point. That was the point I was trying to get to these people. And if you notice throughout this, and I'll stop it throughout and point out to you, they all drank throughout the whole thing. All of them, but I believe one lady was drinking. There were two ladies where their husband drove there, and they were both drinking too. The attorney, her name's Kathy. She's an attorney out of Butler County, Ohio, and I was wondering if she has ever defended any firearms cases, and if so, how those cases turned out, and if she recused herself from those cases because she should have. Well, let me see where I'm at on this picture. I don't even know if you all can see my fat ass or not. Yeah, you actually can. Let me fix this. This is our room. Our junk room is getting junkier, as you can see. This is kind of the catch-all right now because of everything we got going on in our lives. But anyway, watch the dumbasses.
So if you take out two guns, it's not the...
But it's two different topics, though. So if you, why have the right? That's why I can say that.
Well, I would say there are certain things that, yeah.
So, and also, just so you guys know, we hadn't planned on this going this way. We thought that we would be standing there talking, and I would probably be doing the majority of the talking about, Nick. And I guess I just assumed that's what the plan was. We really didn't have a damn plan. I was like, hey, here, hold the camera because I don't have nowhere to put it. And we was going to try to put it in his shirt pocket so he could video everything. But it didn't work out that way. It just didn't work out that way. So this is what we got. But you get a lot of information from this video, though. And it shows the hypocrisy in these bitches and what they do. It's complete bullshit that YouTube took this video down. I think, it goes leaps and we already know YouTube is against us, but I think it says a lot when they try to say that you violated community guidelines. They don't give you a strike because of it, and nowhere in this video did I violate community guidelines. I'm in a state that only requires one party to be aware of there being videoed or recorded. We're on public property at a public event. We were never told to leave. And if you listen throughout it, the lady winds up saying they're probably recording, and then they continue to engage with us.
Like government regulations, right? Like,
We're not talking about government. We're talking about watching your government.
All right, stop. So look, right here's Commie Mommy number 1 to the left. Can you guys see my cursor? I don't know if you can or not. Hold on, I can't tell. I'm looking at the video to see what you guys can see, but you guys are behind me. And I can't tell. I think my cursor's hidden. But anyway, right here, if you look behind my back, right in the small of my back, the lady's got a beer in her hand, a tall glass. And the other lady she's talking to also has a beer in her hand. The one right here, the black purse.
The government is here to protect our rights, not to impede on our rights. Right? That's why you can speak freely. That's why you can sit out here and do this. Should I have the right to say you can't do this? Well, yeah, but we did. We did.
And we went through it step by step.
No, yeah, we did. And
We
then,
did.
hold on.
We
But
did.
then all your
And, you know,
So I actually misspoke right there. We didn't really go through it step by step because their answer for everything in the Dad. If you guys haven't watched Dad Demands Action, it's on my playlist. If you go watch it, and you'll see that every time I had a question, their answer was go to every town. The answers were over there. Go to every town. The answers were over there. And I did go to every town. And I didn't go through everything that was on every town because after researching about 10 different things, I seen that they use lies and propaganda to push a narrative. So, for instance, there's 40,000 gun deaths a year because of firearms. No, a large portion of those is because people want to die, and you're not going to stop people from killing themselves. 80% of the number that's left is from gang violence. So, you just took out a whole swath, over 30,000, 35,000 deaths just between gang violence and suicide. So they're totally full of shit, and it's agenda oriented. These bitches right here are communists and too stupid to see what they support.
we can honestly, sometimes we do reach a point where with 93% of America that support.
So I don't know if you can hear that because it was really low, but she said that we agree with 93% of Americans, and she went on to say that that they support some kind of gun control measures or something like that. If you remember back, I did a video on how they do this. So they send out a pamphlet to people on their list. So like I'm on their mailing list because I have signed up at Moms Demand Action. I did it for a different reason than most people do. They send those surveys out to people on that list. And even if you are pro-gun, you cannot answer it in a way that says you're anti-gun control. Even if you're honest about it and you read it like the normal person would just go through there and check shit saying, well, I'm anti-gun control, and they would go through there and check shit, right? But even by doing so, you're still saying that you're pro-gun control the way that their pamphlets, their surveys are written out. Like they pay people hundreds of thousands of dollars to come up with these surveys where you can only answer one way. There's two completely separate answers, but they both come, if you check either one of them, you're admitting to the same thing. It's ridiculous. In the 7% that they're not counting are the 7% of people that realize this shit and don't turn it back in.
That's not true at all.
And that's what drives us.
That's not true at all. Listen, I'm a convicted felon. You can take every gun out of this country you want, and I will be able to buy anything I want tomorrow.
And that's why we push for
Yeah, but here's what you do.
private sales.
Here's what you're doing. Listen, man.
So that's why we push for tighter sales. I said to her, I'm a convicted felon. If they took every gun out of the country that the government knew about, I'd be able to buy a firearm tomorrow. And I don't want to harm nobody. So consider that. But what you're not considering is that everybody else that wants to harm people will still be able to do the same shit. She thinks that laws stop people from doing shit. Yet she's sitting here watching all of her buddies in her little club drink and drive.
You're under the impression that people
While drinking, and then they will drive.
follow laws. Criminals follow laws.
I know, but then, here's my deal with laws. And laws are created to discourage, deter bad behavior. It seemed to work when we did cars and other laws, right? And seatbelts and
Well, I mean,
safety,
not
whatever.
really.
Well,
hold on,
well,
you
it did.
it did.
Mothers Against Drunk Driving advocated, that's who we're modeled after, actually advocated for stronger, stricter.
So she's comparing the right to keep and bear arms to guns now. You know, the laws surrounding it. There should be no laws having to do with restricting firearms ownership or the firearms you can own. And then she says that they model themselves around, what is it, Moms Against Drunk Driving? Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Yet they're standing around drinking, and they're all getting ready to drive. And this lady admits it here in just a minute.
Laws, right? They were able, it took them 14 years, but they were able to cut these deaths, drinking and driving, by 50%. We're in a situation with, when you look at guns, and we have gun owners.
But they didn't.
Oh, back here hugging that beer. Look at her. She's holding that bitch tight right under her fupa.
Try to take the car away. Right.
They have
Take the
taken
bad
away
behavior
their
away.
license. They have taken away their license.
They
and they're
educated.
regulated. Right, right.
Regulated.
They educated. You're talking about two
See,
different
but
things.
you're
You're talking about
talking
drunk
about
driving,
two-
which is the drinking and driving, which
Well,
is a
no,
bad
wait,
choice.
we're still talking about
so you
we
keep
are,
interrupting me.
but what
One
we do
second.
is we're out to advocate. We're a life-saving
But you're not.
organization.
Michael, yes and no. They had an ideal we was, but in Ohio is a single party state, so like I can record phone calls between you and I can videotape you in public. It's as long as I know I'm being recorded, it doesn't matter if they know or not, and especially in public. Like even in private, say that you were in your home in Ohio, or let's just say you were in your home wherever, and I was talking to you on the phone from Ohio. I had the right to record the conversation whether you know I'm recording or not. Or if we do a Zoom call, I had the right to record it whether you know I'm doing it or not. So it doesn't matter. But she winds up saying they're probably recording, and then they go on to keep engaging with us, right? As they tell other people to quit engaging with us because they're so open and honest and want to have a dialect about, their bullshit.
What you pushed killed my son. Is directly responsible for my son's death. My son, listen, hold on, time out. Let me talk for a second. My son has a 1.2 from concealed, shot on target, concealed, right?
So I'm trying to explain to her that, Nick, my son, there's no doubt in my mind, I would bet my life that he would have at least saved his own life. He had enough time, he was fast enough that he could have saved his own life. Probably would have saved the other guy's life. But they support these bullshit laws that they don't make anybody safer. It's all about, well, if it saves one life, but they don't go on to think about the unintended consequences and the thousands, hundreds of thousands, possibly millions of lives that it could take. There's up to, Obama's CDC did their little bullshit, what was it called? Total brain fart, my bad, guys. But they did their study and came to the conclusion up to 3 million people save their lives annually from firearms ownership. From firearms, not even shooting a firearm, brandishing a firearm, having a firearm, showing a firearm. So if that one life is worth those 3 million, you got issues with your thinking project, and you probably can't see it right here, but this young chick has a beer in her hand.
He died. Him and his friend died because of this crap you guys pushed. Why did you have the right to push the stuff that stopped my son from saving his life when he don't want to harm anybody? What you failed to see is how many guns you want by.
Sometimes we do reach a point where we say,
No, I say that your son.
See, she can't answer the question. So now she's going to, well, at some point we reached the point where there's just we hit a brick wall, there's no talking about this. So she admits her whole argument, her whole thought process is emotional based here in a minute. It has nothing to do with facts. She could care less about the facts. It's emotionally based. She admits it throughout the video. I'll point it out when it happens.
Your son's life was worth what we're doing, and I'll walk away. I'll never talk.
No, we're evidence-based. We would never,
But it's not the evidence. Every town for gun safety lies. I went to every town for gun safety, and I read everything. So 44,000 hold on.
Here's my question.
You can see you won't let me talk.
But why
Let me
would
talk.
you come?
Because I'm trying to figure it out. Okay, educate. That's what I'm trying to get done. But I also want to educate. No, we didn't do it already because your answer was go to every town, which I did. Well, hold on. See, you won't even, this is what we did last time. You won't even let me talk.
This is about the point that, if you're a woman, I'll let you pretty much go as far as you want, short of touching me. As a male, though, there comes a point where you just say, if you're not going to shut your mouth long enough for me to talk, then I'm probably going to shut it for you. Or at least at one time I would do that. Not so much sure I would do it now because I have bigger and better things in mind than just punching you in the fucking mouth. But this right here is the product of there being no consequences for people's words, actions, and not shutting the fuck up.
I'm
But
disappointed
you
in
took
you.
that meeting, threw it out there, laughed at it.
Laughed at it? Who laughed at it?
Well, I could.
It was about
But
educating people.
But we can bring the YouTube up and all the.
We can pull it up, but I can show you. I don't have any control what other people say.
Your words were, hey, you were so thrilled that you infiltrated a meeting. You're not about.
I never said that. That wasn't my words. But my words,
I did say I infiltrated Moms Demand Action. I never said I was thrilled about it. That's not. I don't use the term thrilled ever. Like never. You guys have never heard me say I was thrilled about anything. I said it was fucking awesome, and I said that they were stupid, but I never said I was thrilled.
I don't ever say thrilled.
It's okay.
So now you're
It's okay.
It's not okay.
No.
Because this is what you do. You want to be heard, but you don't want to hear, and that's the problem.
But we did.
If you were
we
did.
We spent a long time on that Zoom call, and we educated.
No, we played games. And we sit there, and then every time I had a question, your answer was go to Everytown. So I did go to Everytown. So, and that's your thing, answer, right? So,
no, we
hold on, time out.
60%
60% of all gun deaths every year, suicides. What the number that's left is gang related. Guys that are selling drugs that have been banned since the teens. You think they're going to care about you banning guns? What you do?
Why do we have any laws?
Why? Because people can't run their lives.
That's right. It's to encourage a civilized society.
It's not me.
So people can't run their lives. Her ideal is that we need to encourage a civilized society. No, you need to make people responsible for their own actions. So if you choose not to grow food, you then die. For instance, and that doesn't help me. If that was the way it was today, I would be dead. Like a lot of things I say don't benefit me, at least in the short term. So my plan is to eventually be able to be self-sufficient, but as of right now, I'm not. So, like consider that when I say something. Like, how does this affect him when he supports a certain thing? Because there's certain things I support that definitely don't help me, but freedom's not about what helps me. It's about people being free to make their own choices.
No. Time out. We're in a free society that was built on the individual. That's why we have rights. No, hold on. Time out. You're fine.
We have a meeting here.
I know. I'm here for it.
And talk with individuals so they understand who we are.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to understand who you are.
I feel like there's this brick wall that you don't see the connection of Moms Demand Action and saving lives.
This don't save lives. It costs lives.
Well,
There was under Obama's CDC. Up to 3 million lives were saved because of firearms. Not because they pulled the trigger, because of just showing a firearm. Which you don't realize.
We're an organization. If we can save one life, we feel a responsibility.
But what if you take one life?
We would never.
You did. You took my son.
Okay. No.
Yes.
Moms
My
Demand
son,
Action didn't do that.
yes. Moms Demand Action supports laws.
See, she can't put it together. Moms Demand Action supports this law. This law was directly what kept my son from being armed. Him not being armed is what led to his death. They want to play the blame game. The dude was going to kill my son regardless. I mean, if he would have had a knife, a bomb, a fucking dog, but just whatever. When you have evil intent, you can't legislate evil intent away. But what you can do is people can take it upon themselves to protect themselves. But these bitches want to take that power out of your hands and rely on government who you call when they show up to scrape your body up off the ground somewhere.
Cost my son his life.
No.
My son was 20 years old. He could not carry. My son is 20 years old. He could not carry a firearm because of his age. No other reason. No other reason. That's it. Is that something that Moms Demand Action supports? Does Moms Demand Action support that law?
The law now on the books is 21 years.
I know.
Right?
So my son was 20.
And we agree with that.
Okay, you agree with that. So then you support the law that led to my son's death. My son would have not only saved his own life, 100% verified fact, he would probably save his friend's life too. So Moms Demand Action is, by your own logic, is directly responsible for 2 deaths.
Sir, I feel like you're not listening to that. So you keep saying this, and I have no doubt that your son was very good.
Right, exactly.
But what if the other person on the other side of that bullet was also following the law like your son?
That's right.
And
It broke our hearts when you told us that.
everybody has the right to keep marijuana, period. Okay, so the problem is here is you don't really understand what rights are. So
But
the
you
guy,
think
hold on,
there
hold on.
comes
The guy,
responsibility
I don't
with
disagree
every
with that.
right.
I don't disagree with that.
Okay.
And if you don't grasp onto that responsibility and manage it, then you have to accept the consequences for it. Just like the guy that killed my son, he's sitting in prison right now. You know what I did? I stood up there because they violated his rights, because I'm pro freedom is what I am. I want you to be able to do whatever you want to do, as long as you're not violating anybody else's rights. More power to you.
Well, then let us continue to do our work.
But no, because you're killing people and you don't see it.
Let us continue
No,
to do our
you're
work.
I'm with you, but you're directly responsible for people's deaths, and you want to acknowledge that. Is it worth
We
it?
never
You
did.
said if you said it saves lives. I know you will. I know
You said with your rights comes responsibility.
With any right
Okay,
comes
all right, and I understand
responsibility.
that,
So like a
right?
gun owner,
And I understand that.
they have a
Okay, I support this law.
responsibility
That law
to
led to my son not carrying a firearm.
say
who I advocate
model
for him to carry illegally
responsible
all the time.
behavior. We are
He
all
didn't want
for
harm him.
that.
So you
We
guys
have a
think
gun
you can
safety
legislate you
program.
can't.
What are the universal four rules of gun safety?
Well,
Why
what
do you have-
our
why do you have,
program
like,
is
What are the-
secure and store your firearm when not in use. Secure it in your
No,
home or
see,
in
that's
your
where you're wrong.
vehicle when not.
Tell me
Use.
to
That's
be
called safe
responsible for my
storage.
own
That's
life,
the
my
M,
property, my
the S in our acronym.
So I take it
The
in my own
M
life,
is
right?
model.
I'm not talking about the universal gun safety rules, the four rules that have been around
Not me.
since
Because you
the,
need help, man. You need
the NR.
Hey, I'm retarded, guys. I'm sitting here talking and shit. Missy said that there was no sound. I didn't realize it was my mic. I had my damn mic off. I'm a moron. My bad. How long have I been doing that shit? Jesus, man. I'm pissed. My bad. Okay, mic's back on. My bad. Forgive me. I'm a retard. Carry on. Me.
NRA was
Those are
founded.
incorporated into our gun
That's
safety
why you're
program.
supporting laws.
And we use an acronym called SMART, S-M-A-R-T.
What's the next one?
We also look for,
You're not-
the A stands
you're not
for
understanding
ask.
what I'm saying.
We have responsibility, so if I want to send my child on a play date or an overnight with
I never said
or a
anything.
teenage party or whatever,
I'm responsible
it's
for
my
me, my own
responsibility to ask if the other individual where I'm sending, I lock my guns up responsibly, and now I'm going to have a teenage party. I would say for my son going there, do you also have your guns secured?
I bet there's 5 guns.
The other one is R. Look for risk of suicide. If an individual is showing, exhibiting signs of suicide, you want to make sure he gets the help or she gets the help she needs and doesn't have easy access to a gun.
Oh, yeah. So because you take something that's subjective, you get to decide who's at risk of suicide, and then you make sure that they don't have access to guns, because you get to decide if they can protect themselves or not. You can decide if they want to live or die or not. I think if people, I think that you have the right to kill yourself if that's what you want to do. It's your life. If you don't want to live no more power to you. Go out in the backyard, drop yourself, and we'll leave you there to die for the buzzers to get you. I don't agree with it, but at the same time, What? I'm sorry, I thought my old lady was hollering at me.
And then the T is, of course, tell your peers.
Oh, but anyway, so they want to decide, you know, according to them, everybody's suicidal. Everybody's a danger. So they just want to take everybody's shit. That's all it's about. It's about control. There's certain people in higher places that manipulate the way these ladies think in order to get them to push propaganda, to get more people on board with them, to further violate your rights. And you can do nothing because they've insulated themselves from facing repercussions for their actions or even their words. You know, words come with consequences.
About gun safety. And we worked with the American, is it called Sporting? Anyway, they are the experts in gun safety. It's a national organization. They helped us build this program.
What makes them experts?
And modeled what?
What makes them experts?
Because they teach gun safety and they decrease accidents.
They're experts in firearms because they teach gun safety. You know, I went and took a hunter safety course one time when I was about 12. And I remember looking back on it, the dude like literally flagging people. But the gun was empty, so it was okay. Experts.
Intentional shootings and misuse, okay.
So education.
Education and actually how to hold a gun. If you have a gun, let's say you are going to have it up or down, you would not brandish it and aim. So though all...
So, you have it up or down and not brandish it and aim. I don't know where she learned how to speak, what her definition of brandishing is, but you don't have to be aiming in order to brandish a firearm. Showing a firearm is brandishing a firearm. If you're concealed carry and you pull up your shirt and show somebody the butt of that pistol, that's considered brandishing a firearm.
Those basic behaviors. So we incorporate that into our gun safety.
Right. Well, so
These bitches need to start an AA meeting is what they need to do.
killing somebody with a firearm.
But that still doesn't have anything to do with the 4 universal laws of gun safety.
What are you for? What are the 4?
Don't point your gun unless you intend to use it.
That's right. So
Always
that is
keep your
in
finger off your trigger. Don't shoot what you don't intend to destroy.
And when she asked Chris what they were, then when Chris goes on to tell them, she says that's right. Like she knew, and she's just it's like a power thing. It's kind of like when a dude walks into a room and puts his hand on the other guy's back and lets him walk in first. It's showing who is in a position of power. That's what she's doing by that. She's trying to act like she's in a position of power. She's a little weak little old cunt.
And know it's beyond your target. That is the criteria taught for every CCW class in this country. That,
dude, I don't agree with it. My bad. I don't agree with open carry and dare lying because there will be a day where you run into some bitch like this who sees a firearm on you, who's going to call the law and say that you pointed that gun at her, and even though you didn't, they'll catch you in a place when they look around. There's no cameras, and they're going to be like, "Got one," and now you're in jail because you open carried. Don't open carry, man. Conceal carry everywhere you go, permit or not. Conceal carry.
and I didn't hear one of those things.
It's in the actual...
Oh, wait a second. I'm not advocating breaking the law, harming anybody, going against the rules. We love Jesus, Joe Biden, and CNN. Be sure to poke yourself with shit that you don't want to poke yourself with.
M for model responsible behavior when holding a firearm. So I think that at this point,
I think part of the
I was
responsibility.
a little surprised that you guys would come back again.
Well,
You
no,
know
because
what
we
our
will.
answers are. You know what? Just watch his YouTube video.
I
His
help him with
YouTube-
his channel.
I know. Help him. Go back to that.
I-
Review it. Everything that we said that night has not changed. So come into the meeting. You're looking for a change or a different answer.
So let's do this real quick. I can't do it. Well, can I? I don't know if I can do this. I don't want to screw it up. Let's finish this real quick, and then we'll do what she says and go watch the other video. I know where the timestamp's at, where we start asking questions and talking, because out of an hour and a half, they spent an hour and 15 minutes playing some fucking game where grandmas get a yay and a clap and you're right or some bullshit. And all the answers, it's another game of you can't be wrong, but anything you say supports gun safety. It's some crazy shit. We'll do that when this is over.
It's not going to happen tonight.
How many deaths per year are there as your number for a result of the
Well, since COVID, we're going to jump at 5,000. It increased tremendously.
Oh, so because of COVID, suicides are going to increase by 5,000. Because of COVID. According to her, YouTube. I'm repeating what she said, YouTube. Because of COVID, not because of guns, because of COVID.
Generally, it's around 35,000 deaths. About 62% of those are suicide. We are now at for the year and during COVID, 40,000 per year.
There's 38,000 fatal car accidents per year. 8,000 of that is caused by people 65 years and older. Should we restrict their driving?
If they continue to break the law in driving, yes, then you would take away their license. It happens every day to individuals.
Notice she said if they would continue, which I don't, when it comes to firearms, like there's a difference between driving and firearms. Although I agree you have the right to travel, that's a different video, different time, but you can't correlate one with the other. They're two totally separate things. And she said continue. When it comes to firearms, it has nothing to do with whether you've done anything wrong or not. She just wants to take your shit. And I would really wish she'd get that foop off the table. Do some sit-ups.
Individuals that don't drive responsibly. So many hits, your license is gone. So yes.
So how many hits would that be? How many lives would they have to take?
How many lives does a person that decides to go against the law?
She wasn't drinking unless she was drinking Jack and Coke, so maybe she was drinking, Jeff. But she's just retarded, bud. That's all. She just doesn't have. She can't think for herself, man. All these women here are incapable of thinking for themselves.
And takes lives. One is too many.
Right. Okay, but why are you trying to restrict more people from being able to protect themselves?
We aren't.
The age thing itself.
We aren't. We support the Second Amendment. We want them to have a background check. We want them to go for a permit.
Now notice she says them. We want them. Like they're like people are lesser than her. We want them. We want them. Different group. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what you want, you old hag. I bet that is a Jack and Coke right there. Here in just a second, you're going to meet Miss Kathy, the Butler County. I need to do some more research. We're going to go down that road with her. We're going to see what kind of cases she defends. She's a criminal defense attorney. There could be some issues with her and Miles Demand Action, and also being an attorney and not recusing herself from those cases if she in fact does not do that.
Because with that comes required training, and the other one is, and again, there's age limits, and those are state laws and federal laws, and we follow those laws. We have gun owners.
Oh, well, here's Miss Kathy back here on the left going in the door with her. This was her second beer. If you remember before this, Chris and I were over here in this little, on this little deck eating, and I watched her buy 2 beers, and then this is her trip in to go to the bathroom, I think. No, I'm just bullshit. She's going to get another beer. Christy just said that it keeps stopping. I seen where Stephen Crumley said it keeps stopping. I have no idea why. I mean, like, they don't want this shit out there, man. They don't want people to know. They don't want people to know that they have these meetings to save just one life, and then they all drink and drive.
In our organization that went through the legal process and model responsible gun ownership. So that's what we want to.
Responsible gun ownership. Don't hurt anybody that doesn't harm you. Responsible gun ownership. Harm everybody that harms you first.
It's going to be no different than what's on the Zoom. I'm going to encourage you to go back and watch the Zoom, and every question that he answered.
You said go to Every Town for Gun Safety.
No, go to his YouTube.
That was 90% of the answer.
No. We gave statistics, and we gave who we were, and we talked about our goals.
So if you remember back to the Dad's Demand Action video, they had no clue of my position. They thought like I was legitimately there because I was wanting to be one of them. You know, they thought I was wanting to jump on the let's ban everything train and let's take everybody's guns away. So people, you know, got to bow to the boot of government. They didn't find out till after the fact, which this also proves that these women are actively watching larger channels, because CodaBoy32 gave the shout out for the video, and then they wouldn't email me back. So that's when I kind of figured they found out about the video. The only way they would have found out about the video is through CodaBoy's channel. So these old hags are actively taking their time to watch these videos to see what they can learn from these videos in a way to push some other bullshit.
And what we stand in and our mission. You just need to rewatch the YouTube that he took without our consent.
It's a
It got
one-party
out there.
state.
It's fine. It's fine. It's
If it was fine with her, then why she keep complaining about it? Just like why did they report the video where I posted of this whole entire video saying that it was actually the way it was worded was that like I had doxed somebody. So somebody had to personally report it, and then I, used the one-party state laws and First Amendment protections, protections of media, and then educational purposes. And YouTube